does he
Jeremiah.
say it's an idol?
That's why he's
You
saying
still
he's
gotta
speaking against. And
dwell
matter of
over
fact,
that
He's
boy.
just saying they're being
No, she left.
vain. They're being
Oh.
materialistic consumer
I got
assholes.
another
That's all
duo.
he's
Come on.
saying.
girl, you was
Where's
proving
he
my
saying
point. You
to?
definitely proving my point tonight for this title. Jeremiah 10:2 says,
Well,
"What?"
let me put it this way. Like, I'm not. I think consumerism is the downfall of society. I think materialism is the
Whoa.
downfall of society. I
Chill
think marketing is the downfall of
I
society.
think the
Mhm.
white
But
man is the downfall.
I think
She
putting
wants
the
the
dollar
ground and
first
pounds.
before
Ah.
basic human understanding, I think, is the biggest problem that we have.
Let's just go get lit.
If you made the claim that humans idolize the dollar, I'd be on board with you. If you say the
Let's go
money
get
is
lit.
the devil, I'd be on board with you. But see, that would be the route where I say if you wanted to have a problem with Christians who celebrate
on
Christmas
timing.
or
I got
Halloween
many
or whatever.
problems with Christians though, not just idolatry part. I got many
He's on
problems with Christians.
timing.
Right, but I would say like all of those things your examples you're giving to me right now, these are all more recent types of materialized celebrations. This
No,
is how we celebrate it, right? Christmas used to actually be the least like celebrated and the least
It's still pagan
in
in
terms of
origin, though, which is what I'm talking about. Like when you say it's not an idol, Jeremiah 10:2 says,
I just
"For
said
thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the
I
signs
fucking hit
of
affiliate
heaven."
on Twitch.
So when it describes that Christmas
Word?
tree,
Yeah,
that is
so
a
I'm
heathen or
getting
pagan
somewhere.
custom.
Getting paid.
And God said to not learn
Like,
it.
you start getting paid now, right?
So if the Christians
so.
is teaching you to learn it, are they for God or against God?
I wouldn't say the Christians are teaching that. I would say your marketing and commercialized
telling me the church
people
don't
are
teach
telling
it?
you
The church don't teach
They got
Christmas.
to go get a Christmas tree decorated and believe in Santa Claus.
you get
No.
There's a
paid. I
Christmas
think
tree in
that's
every
the-
church.
Poinsettias.
From your subs.
Come on.
I know poinsettias. I don't think I've ever seen a Christmas tree.
Tell the truth.
Maybe in like I'm Catholic,
I have,
right?
like,
Like they're
fucking
very
30
traditional in terms of what they do. I
$30
remember
$40
poinsettias.
sitting in my fucking kick account.
Yes.
You know they
My
just
father's Catholic. I follow my father.
You know they just
Oh my
paid
god, I got
almost $1
251
billion
files on
to
kick now.
big
What the fuck is
child
going on?
molesters.
Well, isn't that a good thing that was rectified?
Wow. Y'all wonder why we say the white woman and man is the devil? You heard what she said? She said,
I'm
"Isn't
saying
that
it's
a
bad,
good thing?"
therefore that they rectified it. That's a good
Yeah.
thing that they why is that a bad thing?
Because why would you still want to be associated with child molesters?
I'm not associated with those
You're
people
Roman
specifically. Does that change my belief in the Bible or
I don't
my
think you believe in the
understanding
Bible,
or
though.
my sacraments that I've taken to uphold? No, it doesn't change anything. Now, I think it's shitty behavior and I don't like that. I don't want to associate with those people specifically.
Right.
That doesn't change my
You're
understanding
still a
of the
Roman Catholic.
church. Yeah, my
But
father
still a
is
Roman
Catholic.
Catholic.
I follow my father, and I take my father's guidance on that, and I'm very comfortable with that.
Right. But this is why when with the subject, white people are the devil, and you go to the Roman Catholic Church, those white people are devilish because even though they paid them, they don't fire the popes. They just transfer them. They transfer them somewhere else to molest again.
You know what's funny is I actually
They say that, and the fact that they got money to pay the victims is diabolical. You know, even Tim Tebow said. You know what Tim Tebow said about white fathers? He said the most dangerous place for children is white fathers because of how much they molest their kids. And Tim
so
Tebow-
I guess nobody should have a father then, huh? We should
Maybe
just
fathers.
disassociate with all fathers.
or,
No,
or,
we're not.
Completely.
maybe
That's
fathers-
based on your logic. You said I'm Catholic. You said I'm Catholic, and how can you
So you
possibly
can't
be
be Catholic.
associated with the Catholic Church because of all the things that they've just done, or whatever, so on and so forth. Then, if based on that, if all fathers or most fathers, the majority of fathers are all bad, we should just disassociate fathers altogether then.
Nigga
No,
said the
maybe
Christmas
we
tree
should tell
explosion is
fathers,
really
stop
low, man. That's a
touching
pagan
him.
holiday, man.
Stop touching him. Maybe we should do that. Maybe somebody should go into
Why don't
the
you
white
practice some
homes and
rituals?
tell
That's
them
on
your
y'all.
daughter is not your girl. Your son is not your girl. Maybe they.
Well, I think I mean, we have laws in place that we morally understand that is bad,
You
right?
think white people obey laws?
Oh dear Jesus.
He said, "Do you think white
Are
people
we
obey
gonna get
law?"
into okay? All right, but I wanted to actually
What's
point
that?
something out because
Right.
I did my uh,
What?
I did like a double major, right? And my under piece was in victim studies, okay?
Mhm.
And the funny thing was we did tap into Catholic churches and the issues surrounding that, and especially localized here
Right.
in Maryland, that was a big problem. There was actually an entire all girls Catholic high school that was shut down that was not far from where I grew up, right? So it kind of hit
Mhm.
home when we followed that study. But the best part was when we discussed the idea that the Jewish religion actually has more issues with teenage girls,
Mm.
the leaders with teenage girls,
Mm-hmm.
but because it's brushed under the rug a lot more often and
Oh,
they
it's a little
are
worse than that.
much more quiet, they actually believe that there's more sexual harassment and other issues in the Jewish
Jewish
community
community, right?
than they would be in the Catholic community.
Mm.
So, and I'm not saying like, oh, look, like they're doing worse over there, you should look over here. But what I'm
Mm.
saying is people are shitty all around. You could go to a school, you could go to a
Right.
church, you could go to
Right.
anywhere where adults have access to
Right.
children, right?
You want to make it
That
worse?
is that's a potential risk anywhere you go. So if we just chose to disassociate with anything that could potentially be harmful, well, enjoy your bubble in your home and being a recluse
I
and never
enjoy my
talking to
bubble.
anyone.
Yeah, I enjoy my bubble right now. But you know what the Jewish community and the Roman Catholic community have in common? They're both white.
Both white. That's good.
I
Jewish
think
people are white
doesn't
too.
Jewish have like a separate ethnicity understanding
But
or something like that?
Jewish, they the devil too. Jewish people just converted to being Jewish around the 5th or 6th century.
That's why it's called
They come
Jewish.
from Germany, Russia, and Poland, just like their European brothers. They're not from the Middle East either. And what you said about them molesting, out up there, Annie, they got a whole. They're another set of people that's supposed to be about God, but in Tel Aviv, they have a gay month. They have a practice where how can I say this the cleanest way for YouTube? They have a practice where when a son is born on the 8th day,
No, I can't stand it. I throw the ball to the open three ball. He runs all the way into the contested ass paint
Oh,
to
I
take a shot.
heard this.
That's right.
Mr.
Shit makes no
Bowman, I know
sense.
you're listening back
Yeah.
there.
He goes out of bounds.
I know he actually informed me of this, and I thought that was the sickest shit I've
Yeah,
ever
and you
heard
know
in
how
my
we
life.
found out because they
I
was
just gotta
giving
play
them
this shit
young
and get the
kids
rap, bro.
herpes. That's how we found out.
Ooh.
And they're
But
all
see,
white.
that is shitty behavior, right? Can you say that
I agree.
Can
But
you
y'all
say
don't
that?
correct that shitty behavior.
Right.
We don't.
Donald Trump endorsed a white preacher. And that white preacher went to jail for child molestation. Donald Trump set free all of the people that did the January 6th protests. The
Mhm.
majority of them are going to jail for child molestation.
Well, were they? Wait, so they were They happened to be J6 activists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they
Mhm.
got put in jail for J6,
Do you
and they
support
got
the J6?
pardoned.
Yo, what in the fuck is going on?
Well, I want to understand your
man?
claim first.
Okay, no
So
problem.
they went to jail for J6 activities, correct?
Correct.
And then Trump came and pardoned them for J6
Right.
activities, correct?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
then after they were pardoned, then they went to jail.
Not all of them, some of them. Like a
Some
lot
of
of them
them
went
that
to jail
were
for.
found-
Ah, keep
Some of
fucking
them
helping,
got
bro.
exonerated, and
Yeah,
then
cook,
going to
fucking
jail
help.
for PDF
I
behavior.
can't leave my guy at all, bro.
Well, but the
I can't
the
leave my nigga
harm
at
is
all.
done and they're being convicted of a crime.
I'm not
So
talking
where's
about
the
conviction.
issue? So
But
he
you
well hold
do-
on, but he that's why I want to understand your claim. He pardoned them for J6 activities. Therefore they were released on that. Was he aware of any other PDF concerns or issues to do with them? Did they have charges
You
on
said
them
it-
for
you said
PDF
was
stuff?
Trump aware? You see, he going to war with Iran. He's aware. That's why he going to war over them Epstein files. Trump is
No.
aware
I
of
focus
all.
on the one. I want to focus on the
Listen,
one
listen,
claim you're making. with those people that he pardoned that were J6 activists, was he aware? Were they all
Okay, I get what you're
charged
asking.
and
I'm not,
convicted?
I'm not speaking about him being aware of their behavior. No, I'm not speaking on. I'm speaking on how diabolical the white man is with his pedophilia disease. Like that's a disease that he has. So I'm showing how the Roman Catholics can't help themselves, Jewish people can't help themselves. Tim Tebow said the most dangerous place for children is white fathers, and he's a white man. He's a white father. And I'm just pointing out, when we say white people are the devil, most people think we're speaking just from what's happened to us. But he don't care about nothing except his own lustful pleasures. If it's a girl, if it's a boy, if it's a drug, if it's himself, if it's war, if it's enslavement, if it's anything. When they enslave black people, wait, before I ask you that, there was a question that I asked you, and you said you didn't want to pivot. Was that about, did you support the J6?
Well, because then you were kind of going a little further, but I don't think it even matters in this instance because your claim is that he said he set free people who were the PDF, right? But why is that on him, right? If
I just said,
J6ers and then he released them for J6, then so but what I'm saying is the logic doesn't follow. You can't just say, oh, well, they were later charged with PDF shit, right? That's Trump's fault. That's bad. He let them free. Like, but if he didn't know, he's like, why would we? How would that be his fault?
But this is why I say listening is an art, because I didn't fault him for knowing. I didn't say that he knew. I said, I'm not saying that
You
he
said
knew.
Trump freed, in the beginning of that, you said Trump freed a bunch of people that were PDFers.
Right, but I never said that Trump knew that they was pedophiles. My point, wait, hold on, because I gotta repeat, because you didn't listen the first time, so I gotta repeat
You
the
said
second time.
Trump freed a bunch of PDFers.
I did.
But that's not the actual case. The case is he freed J6ers based on J6 activity, but then later on they were charged and I'm assuming convicted for PDF shit. You can't put, if I go to jail for robbing a bank and then I'm found not guilty and then later on I'm charged again with a PDF shit, you can't go back to that judge and that lawyer and all of those things on the first bank robbing and be like, you let her go and she's a PDFer because she did this later. You can't pair the two together and say one is like, you can't pair the two together. Your claim was Trump freed PDFers. All the J6ers he freed, some of them were PDFers, and that's why I asked the timeline of that because that's very important. If he knew they were PDFers and pardoned them, then I could say, okay, you have a case there. But if they J6 activities, got jailed for J6 activities, got pardoned for J6 activities, and then later on, after they were freed, later went and committed PDF crimes, well, that's a whole other ballgame.
This is what I say, listening is an art. When you first asked me, was I saying that Trump knew? My first response was, I said, okay, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying Trump knew what they were. That wasn't the point. Trump was just the person that exonerated them. It could have been anybody that exonerated them. That was not the point. We was talking about white men being pedophiles, and I was highlighting different sects outside of the Roman Catholic Church. So I said the J6, majority of them got arrested after Donald Trump freed them. You pivoted to make it be like, am I saying Trump knew? I never said Trump knew or didn't knew. The only thing that I said that might have made you think that I said Trump knew, because I was making a jest at the Epstein files, because Trump is a pedophile too. So pedophiles know pedophiles, which is a jest.
No, I stopped you before you could get into the Epstein. The point was, you said Trump freed a bunch of PDFers.
I did say Trump freed them. I didn't say Trump knew they were pedophiles. My point was pointing out that in every faction of American white men, they're pedophiles, whether in the church, out the church. Jewish or non-Jewish. They are pedophiles. That's why I said I named Tim Tebow, Roman Catholic Church. You brought up the Jewish man, put him in there, and then the J6. All of
Well, you
them are
just,
pedophiles.
your Tim Tebow claim was that Tim Tebow just simply claimed that
Yeah, he just said it.
all white fathers are
didn't say all.
dangerous.
No, he didn't say you
Or
misspent it.
A
This why we
more
say white-
majority,
Are you a
most.
news reporter? Are you a news reporter? Because you know how to spin. Because you're trying to
Well,
spin down. I didn't say
Okay,
Tim
what
Tebow
did Tim
said-
Tebow say?
I didn't say Tim Tebow said all. I said Tim Tebow said the most dangerous place for children is white fathers. That's the statement. I didn't say all. I didn't say a little. I didn't even give a percentage. I just quoted what he said verbatim.
Wouldn't-
I can pull it up and we can
Okay.
play it.
Wouldn't the most dangerous place for children being with white fathers mean that white fathers
Was molested.
encompassing all would be
But you're making
dangerous?
it all because you want to make it absolute. Listen, I'm
We
fine.
need a
Listen,
we
if
need
you
a
want to make it
dramatic
all, if
understanding.
you want to make it all, I just want y'all to know, white men.
But based
She's
on
saying
what
all
you're
of y'all
saying,
are pedophiles. I'm not saying all of y'all. I may say only 95%. I don't know.
based on what you just said though, the most dangerous place for children would be with white fathers.
I didn't
That
say
would
that.
have to
Tim
mean
Tebow
that
said it.
there's.
Tim Tebow said it.
I understand what you're saying, but my whole point, I'll get off the moot point, but my whole point is, Tim Tebow says this, but is there like some kind of data? Like, I don't give a fuck
gotta
what Tim
ask Tim
Tebow
Tebow.
says, right? Well, so why would you use that here? What is the data behind it?
Because
Did
this-
you look up the
title-
data behind it?
The title today is "Are White People the Devil?" So my goal is to point out different, whether it's old history, new history, current events, old events, to show the devilishness of the so-called white man. So me bringing up Tim Tebow is a talking point, no different than you bringing up Jewish people and what they do to girls is a talking point.
My mom said
There's a man right here.
all white fathers are angelic and the most safest area to be. Why do what Tim Tebow says? Is there data to show that what he says is valid or means shit?
I think if we look up the crime statistics, if we look at the Roman Catholic Church, majority of them are white. Well, who knows if they're fathers? Are popes allowed to have children?
I want to know the data. You said
I'm
Tim
asking-
Tebow said that the most dangerous place for children would be with white fathers. Okay, that's a claim, and you are giving some type of authority to Tim Tebow
I'm not
for
giving them
saying
any
that.
authority. I just said, see, like you spinning again.
But what?
I just said I brought it up as a talking point. I didn't give Tim Tebow.
A talking point, but I
Right.
want to know, like, why is that valid to you? Why are you making that a talking point? I want to know the data behind why are white fathers the
So
most
I'm-
dangerous place to be for
I'm-
children?
So I'm making it a talking point because we was on the subject of child molestation in the Roman Catholic Church. That's the subject we was on. As I said again, listen. The theme for the night is listening is an art. And so what I was doing was showing other people or other examples talking about how white men molest children. So I used the Jewish community and what they do to 8-day-old baby boys. And then I used what Tim Tebow said. I can go into your movies. One of your most famous movies is what, Forrest Gump, right?
Forrest Gump.
Tim Tebow saying something is not
You don't like- you
an
mad at me.
example.
You mad?
No, what I'm saying is, if you're going to present information,
Uh-huh.
you're giving, it's a what is it, fallacy of the authoritarian one. Like, you're giving some type of authority because Tim Tebow said it, therefore it means something. I don't give a fuck what Tim Tebow
The
says. If
data
you're gonna
says that
say
65% of pedophiles are white men.
fathers,
Yes. No, it doesn't say fathers. 65% of pedophiles are white men.
okay, white men. I want you, but the claim is Tim Tebow said the most dangerous place for a
Listen, you
child
should
is
go
with
talk to
white
Tim-
fathers.
You should go talk to Tim Tebow because that spin
You
not gonna work on you.
are quoting him,
Right.
Kevin Zariak. You are giving authority to what he's saying and using it as a talking point in this conversation to say
Right.
white people are the devil, and you're backing
They
it
are.
up by saying, well,
This
Tim
nigga- this
Tebow
nigga-
claims that the most
this nigga-
dangerous
this nigga-
place for
I know.
a child to be is with a white father. And I'm saying that's a fallacy of it's a
57%
fucking
of
authority
white
fallacy.
men are fathers out of the 65.
57.
out of the 65% that are PDF or doing
Yeah.
something bad.
57.
And where is this
Fuck!
coming from?
I'll give you the website in a second.
Alright,
Nigga,
well,
then
I'll
fucking
take
cut to
that
the
website.
paint, man.
United States
He's
Sentencing
annoying as fuck. Get
Commission.
out the way.
Sentencing Commission?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, drop that back chat. I'll look at that while
Alright,
other
these
people
niggas don't
do an
want
aid
pass,
with
bro.
you.
This shit
But
annoying
that's
as
what
fuck.
I'm saying. It's like, if you're gonna
Here,
appeal to
bro,
an
here.
authority.
They still white though. No matter what.
I'm gonna
listen,
sit
they
back
ain't
and
gotta
watch
be
this,
fathers.
bro.
They could be single
I'm
white
fucking
men.
tired of this shit. I'm fucking
That's
passing
not-
the ball and
but
shit. Niggas just
The
fucking doing that.
claim was Tim
not a
Tebow
claim.
said.
A
That's-
claim is like if I was standing on the claim. Like, I'll give you an example. When I say Jeremiah the 10th chapter, I'm standing on that. When I say Colossians 2:8, I'm standing on that. That's a claim for me. Me bringing up a talking point does not make it a claim for me. I'm not standing on Tim Tebow. I'm just showing you that even white people know that they're the devil. That's my point of mentioning Tim Tebow.
Because Tim Tebow said so.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Lord. All right.
Hey, when Trump said he wasn't in the Epstein files, people believe that.
Right.
I didn't follow too much of the Epstein files.
Oh, you didn't follow too much of
but,
Why
Epstein.
not? That's another case of white men
Right.
being the
You
devil.
guys are just allowing that shit, man.
I think that's just
Hey, you know, they
shitty.
say-
I think that's just shitty people being shitty
You
people,
know they got the
right?
That's just
that
shit.
Nickelodeon symbol is designed like Epstein Island.
Oh, that's gotta be some kind of conspiracy crazy.
Oh, they showed the picture of Nickelodeon, the symbol, and then they showed the picture of Epstein Island, and it looks the same. Look at Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber was performing in his diaper. That is a molested boy.
Justin Bieber's got some screws loose, I think. I think
Yeah.
things happen
Yeah,
to
he's
Justin
getting
Bieber.
molested.
I would actually believe that.
Right.
So you don't
All right,
believe
here's
that?
what we're gonna do, because we are over the hour
Yeah,
mark.
you don't
I've
wanna
been
believe
having
it,
too
the
much fun
motherfucker
with
said
you.
it.
I actually didn't want to let anyone else have any fun with
There's
you
gotta be a
because
stat for
I was
people
like,
to
no,
understand and
I'm having
fucking
too much fun.
believe shit. So
But
fucking
I
think
do
about
know that
people.
they were all waiting in the chat so very patiently, so I dropped the link into my
Oh, wait,
chat.
oh yeah, let me
with-
see your chat so I can
And
get
yeah.
that link too. Hold on.
Yep, and it's in the private, here, I'll drop it again back there. If you wanna do that, that will lead them straight to our backstage and they can come join the panel.
Put this link on.
And if you want to join on to ask a question or provide a comment, I'll even take some heat too. If any of your friends want to come yell at me, I am taking it because this is like blowing my mind. That like, oh, this bad, therefore white people bad. It's causation versus correlation, right? You can sit here and say all day, this one
You gotta
white
say that about black
dude did
people,
this
too.
thing, and then that doesn't necessarily create a correlation to every white person, right? That was just a shitty person. Like
But when
even
if we
in,
go through history, so we don't always say that every single white person is the devil. There's enough of y'all that the damage that y'all have done in America, in the earth, just proves that you're the devil. Like even when I said that a black person could be a devil, anybody could be a devil, anybody could be a deceiver, but the quintessential devil is white people. Like y'all got it mastered.
let me ask you one more thing, and then we'll move to the super chats, and then we'll. I see people are already jumping backstage.
Right.
How would you define the devil the way you use it here?
Okay, so you have an angelic being, that's the devil. He obeys God. He's the one that the Lord sends to do his work. Then on earth, you have a devil word devil, which means deceiver. You have devils that are on this earth. Their whole job is to deceive you, to destroy you. That's why I said anybody can be a devil. So the greatest destroyer and greatest deceiver is the white man. So how I rank them is white people first, Arabs second, Africans third, Chinese people fourth. That's how I rate devils in the world. Then blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians be coming last. We're good at deceiving each other. We're not good at deceiving other nations. The white man is the best at deceiving the entire planet Earth. That's how we describe it.
So we're just good at shit.
You're good at demonicism.
Demonicism.
You
I'm about to say demonic shit, yeah.
Donald Trump think he's Homelander. I don't know if you ever watched The Boys, the TV show.
Yeah. That one I could probably be on board with. Like, hey, that kind of makes sense. I'm not too opposed to that one. We can
Right.
totally do a debate, and I would team up with you on that one. All right, in the dono realm, we've got Tootie Bug gifting out 5 Raging Tomato memberships. Thank you so much, Tootie. We love you, darling, and thank you for giving the gift that keeps on giving. Iatin asked the question, how is the Roman Catholic Church responsible for Manifest Destiny exactly? That was a 19th century American thing, if I'm not horribly mistaken. Question to you.
Gotcha. You're definitely horribly mistaken. If anybody was to just look up Manifest Destiny or Doctrine
Yo,
of
what the
Discovery,
fuck, man?
where Manifest Destiny comes from. So Doctrine of Discovery in 1455.
I'm holding forward, running for a dunk. I get a fucking mid-range shot.
Into Katera, the Pope claiming dominion over the entire world, issued statements which gave European rulers the sanction to colonize all of the non-Christian world. Speaking as God's representatives on the earth, the bulls gave Columbus, Cortez, Pizarro, Cook, Hudson, and the rest both legal and moral license to do whatever they wanted to the people in the lands they encountered, including dispossession, enslavement, and murder. And the Manifest Destiny is where they just believed that they was doing this in the name of their God. So the start of it is Doctrine of Discovery, 1455. Anybody can look it up. So when Columbus came over to North America, saw the Native Indians, even though he called them the most peaceable people that he's ever saw, he still said they must be enslaved. Answer the question.
I'll leave that for anyone who's joining the panel. If anyone else has a better understanding of that and wants to dispute it or agree or bring it up, I'll leave it to you guys.
Up by 20,
It's out of my wheelhouse. Iotin says, "Who is tricking us? Names, guys. Give us the names. Who's tricking us?"
Well, I just gave you 4 names in the Doctrine of Discovery, named Columbus, Cortez, Pizarro, Cook, and Hudson. When they came over here on the slave ships, they had a slave ship named Jesus. And they came over here with that white Jesus. That's the name. And from those names, the men that would come after them would say that. Abraham Lincoln, another name. People like to say that the Civil War was over freeing the slaves when Abraham Lincoln said, I'm not doing this to free the slaves. If I can solve this without freeing the slaves, that's names. In 2026, the Democrats make the Republicans the enemy. When if you actually look at history, the Republicans was founded to fight against the Democrats because they're the ones that wanted slavery. The Republicans are the ones that was formed to stop slavery. Now you have names. So your Barack Obama, your Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's called black people super predators. So if you want some names, I can give you names.
That's fair. I think she was just referring to the trick or treat, but.
I'm taking up on 3 people in this. Like, this shit is retarded, bro.
I'm sorry.
I forgot all about that.
I was gonna let it roll.
You should have stopped me, man.
Big man, power forward, big man. Fucking 7-14
No,
left for
it's
17.
still informative and it helps to establish more of the
Nigga shot every
foundation, so I'll
fucking shot.
let you go. Thank you, Plumpy, for the other gifted Raging Tomato membership.
Good shit on 8 for
Also,
14, 10 for 15.
ZXQ says, if God-fearing is Christian, are white-fearers white supremacists?
If God-fearing is Christian, is what?
Are white-fearers white, wait.
I don't know what
If
like
if God-fearing, so by being Christian, you fear God, right? That's part of Christianity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on what they're saying, are white-fearers.
Yeah, see, you confused too, because white fearers
Yeah.
people that's afraid of white people.
Yes, they.
They're telling
All
us
right.
they spend another $5
NBA to run open base.
I like what you think, yeah. Darth Thorin says, keep it right, keep it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
No, you should have left it up. You should have left it up.
I ain't hear nothing of
It says, 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God. So Halloween or whatever else is not inherently against God or idolatry.
That's a lie. In that same chapter, if you go up to verse 21, Paul says,
Let's see what the
ye
YouTube
cannot
says.
drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of the devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the devil's table. Halloween, Christmas, and Easter is the devil's table. You cut yourself bad, but You done sent $20 already. So send them
I
more
love
money.
Iotin. Nah, she's a proud supporter and Mater here, Mater Nation.
That dumbass scripture in there. That was.
I love Iotin. Crowd, who is backstage waiting to join as well, says, I can't wait to show how hypocritical this dude is. Sarah, nice to see the debate up as usual. The Holy Trinity rocks regardless of what Jesus looked like. Any thoughts to that?
Basketball's
I'm
5v5.
gonna beat the shit out of him when he get up here. He start talking about that Trinity. That's what I got to say about that.
All right, yeah, because you are anti-Trinitarian, right? Right,
The Bible
okay.
is anti-Trinitarian.
Ooh, because
Don't worry. Listen, when they get up here, it's gonna get spicy. It's gonna
Fair
be
enough.
something. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fourth Wiseman stepping in. Hello to you, Fourth. Says, hi, Sarah and everyone. How much to boot the inept? We can't, you can't boot our main guest. But
Hey,
you
you
can
wanna
certainly-
move me? You gotta cash at me. That's what you need.
Right, you gotta
Yeah,
send
you
your
cash
money
at me a
to
good amount of
leave
money,
myself.
baby.
But the rule here is you can boot anyone except for the main featured event, which is Captain Tazariak. So he is untouchable. He's
Right? Get out of your
untouchable.
white feelings. Get out of your white feelings. Don't chip
Arabian,
out. What's his name? What was that guy's name? Tell him don't
that's
chip
the
out.
Fourth Wiseman.
Yeah, tell him don't chip out. Don't
Oh,
chip out.
he's our Australian friends. The Thunder
Yeah,
from Down Under
yeah.
coming in. We love.
You know,
we love
that's where all the criminals was at. They went and started doing the Aborigines. When they got rid of all the criminals out of Europe, they sent in Australia. They started beating up and enslaving the Aborigines. They sent. They
Oh shit, we're just everybody's wrong.
Yeah, y'all just.
Everybody's wrong. Holy shit, I like you, Captain T. You're good people. Even though you hate all people, you're good people. You're
I don't hate all
good shit.
people. I don't hate all people.
Oh, goodness. Arabian
It's not
says
hate,
any
man.
large
That's the
community is
shit.
going to
You
have
can't
its
talk about
shares
what
of
people
deleters,
did.
PDFs, and criminals. I believe that's
But they can
true.
talk
I
about
think there's
what we
always
do.
going to be shitty people. Like there's bad
What we don't
doctors,
do.
therefore should we just not see any doctors?
I
There's
agree
bad
with that.
cops. Should
I
we
agree
not
with that.
agree that
Fuck.
yeah. So
I agree
at
with
least
that.
you can
I gotta
Be on
stop
board with
doing
that.
that shit.
Yes.
bro. I'm gonna get punished
Texas
every
Bully
fucking
Mom
time.
says the Big Ten for my sins,
That's
you
right.
Halloween trick-or-treating
I'm not gonna
motherfucker.
save you though. You can't buy out your sins though. We appreciate the super chat, but you can't pay your way out of that shit.
Oh no, Fourth Wiseman says Captain Tazariak is in the Epstein files. This is why he dislikes the whole saga. Are you in the Epstein files?
Hell no. I don't think is there any black people in the Epstein files?
Except for the ones that
Oh,
are
I have no idea. I
I
have
don't.
no
And
idea.
that's a serious question for the white people. Don't chip out on me. But are there
Don't chip
black
out on
people
me,
in the
Chris.
Epstein files? Because I don't know of too many. You know, most of the Epstein files is white people. I guarantee you this: if the Epstein files had all black people, Trump would say, "Release everything." Guaranteed.
Fair enough. Just for a warning, I've got a full backstage coming in, okay?
I'm built for
Uh,
it tough. Built for it.
Everyone backstage, Cam Up does get first priority. That you're not all gonna make this first round, but Cam Up does have first priority. So please be sure to Cam Up for me back there, so I know who is. If you're avatar mode, I apologize. I love you, but it doesn't look
shoot
pretty.
the
on
fucking
first-
ball.
All right, and
Damn,
Caledonian
Playing some
says this
Andrew ass
dude is a
nigga be wide
fool.
open
Over
and
here
just
in
run up.
the UK, you
and dunk
hear
the
the
ball.
same language
No
from
reason.
guys like Tommy Robinson about migrant PDF guys. I'll say PDF, Greek, whatever. This guy's mentality is the devil. Are you the devil?
Me?
Maybe you're the devil and you're just trying to convince us that we are.
Hey, that's a good battle. Let's put it to the test. And let's see if I do devilish shit or if y'all do devilish shit. Let's put it to the test.
Fair enough, fair enough. And Chris asked, is that Taylor Swift? I want to take the compliment like you're asking me, but I'm going to
This
say
nigga is
maybe they
fucking
were asking
fast
you,
as
Captain.
fuck.
Are you Taylor Swift?
I think they talking to you. You got blonde hair, you white, they thinking you Taylor Swift.
I'll take it as a
Taylor Swift is
compliment.
ugly though.
All right. I'll leave the rest of the
Taylor
super
Swift
chats.
is
We'll get back to those here momentarily. Okay, Captain Tazariak, you are cracking me up. I look forward to many more of these. Are you ready to meet your panel, sir?
Yes, I am. I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
I was gonna say she lit.
Birdman hands over the gun.
Bro, what? What the fuck am I going on, bro? Yo, I keep stopping to do a mid-range. This nigga dunks the ball, bro. I get a shit-ass meter on top of that, wide open. I gotta use my paddles, I guess. It's retarded. Get out the paint. My nigga got 8 points. I don't give a fuck. These niggas not passing the ball, nothing. One nigga taking all the shots. Can't expect me to do good if I'm getting no fucking takeover and shit.
Right, I think I got, oh, Clay, you were cammed up back there. Or did you switch over to your emoji?
Terrible
I
shot.
thought you were cammed up back there. I know you normally are. Okay. All right, we all know the drill. I do have a few more people backstage. Hang tight, and if you are trying to get in the stream yard, you'll have to wait until somebody else leaves to be able to enter. Otherwise, it's going to remain full back there for now. Now, what we're doing in this portion is the respectable Q&A portion. So we are going to be pleasant in our discourse, okay? I have a feeling Captain T is going to stick around for the gauntlet mode because I think he likes the blood sport fun and I think he's interested in this conversation, and hopefully we give him a great panel on the Q&A so that the gauntlet is inviting to him and we can eventually boot people off of here, or people will leave on their own. And we'll be able to get more people up as the rotation continues, okay? So hang tight if you are backstage, and if you are waiting to jump backstage, you'll just have to wait until somebody leaves. All right, Andrew, and for the record, everyone else except for myself and Captain T are going to mute themselves. We're gonna go round robin one at a time. I'm gonna give each person a few minutes to ask their question, have a little back and forth with Captain, and then we'll move on to the next person. But I do ask everybody else, stay muted in the meantime. All right, Andrew, if first back there, if you'd like to kick off with your first question or comment to Captain T.
Sure. Thank you, Sarah. How's it going, Captain?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing pretty well. I don't really know where to start. You said a lot of stuff. I want to ask one clarifying question, just to make sure my question is correct. I watched your debate with Jay Dyer, and you admitted, or you know, gave the information that prior to the 1800s, all this was passed down through oral tradition. Is that correct?
Yes, I said that.
So, because any scholarship that, okay?
I don't know if I would say all, but it was oral tradition. Like when I talked about the brother that has the Harriet Tubman information, that's oral tradition.
Right, and that's here in the United States, and most of what I found, you know, most scholars say that this.
Yo, I have a 99 fucking dunk, man!
I would ask you, if it was
This shit's
all
annoying as
prior
fuck.
to the 1800s, why was that?
Like a
You know,
6'6"
the
is
printing
stopping me
press
from
has been
dunking the
around
ball with a 99
400
dunk, and I'm running full speed on the
Nobody
fast
thought to
break.
write this down? Like, did they just,
Nigga just
were
taps
they
me and I fucking lose the
illiterate
ball.
in
Like,
Africa?
I
Is that what you're
fucking
saying?
missed the dunk. This
Because
shit's
even in
retarded.
Africa, they've been
I
writing
just hold
stuff down
X.
for thousands of years. So did they just not think it was important enough? Or is it more likely that they just made this shit up in the 1900s? Late
Yeah, I hope the cause
Nerves,
is gonna
man.
be better than this guy. Printing presses in America was not controlled.
I'll go bring out a nigga with an 80
As
dunk
the
and dunk
slaves
more
were
than this
brought over
nigga. It makes
here,
no sense.
They took away our identity, ability to read, ability to write. So all we had was oral tradition. And I expect that from a white man. This is the proof why we say white people are the devil. He would expect us to be able to still be able to write, get paper and parchment and do all of that stuff when it was fine with us just having an oral tradition, passing it down that way. And the proof that it remained is because it eventually became, I think F.S. Cherry is the first man that was arrested for publicly preaching in the 1800s.
Fucking got a
So the
6'5",
oral tradition
fucking
works.
staying everywhere I'm
If the
at.
oral
So there was no writing
Sort of finished.
prior to that. No, they didn't write one thing down. There's not one.
Then I
piece
got-
of
then I got another
documentation
nigga
about
helping
this.
out.
Stuff was freeing the slaves, they didn't write anything down either, and nobody looked for paperwork.
Yeah, but you were saying
Oh,
that
give
this
up the
source is
pill,
all the way
man.
back. You guys are the original Israelites. How is there not one document?
What I'm saying is that oral tradition worked. Freeing the slaves through oral tradition
Give up the
worked.
fucking pill.
Knowing that we were Israelites through oral tradition worked. It didn't have to be written down on paper. And see, that's where, even in the Bible, do you believe in the Bible? Yes or no? Because you mentioned Jay Dyer.
Yeah, I believe in the Bible.
So did Christ say, I'm glad he kept this from the wise and prudent and gave it to babes? Did he say that?
Yeah, I don't see the relevance. You're talking about the
Wise-
1800s. You're
wise-
talking,
If you don't see it, then you got to listen to see. Thank you. When he said he kept it from the wise and prudent, because you being wise and prudent, you think paperwork supersedes thought. Paperwork supersedes idea. That's why I use the parallel of the slave of Harriet Tubman freeing the slaves. Freeing the slaves didn't require paperwork. Freeing the slaves required thought, required word, required action.
okay. I'm talking about archaeology. There's no archaeology ever found of anybody mentioning this ever.
You know it's
Just trust me, bro.
Now
That's your
you see how the
position,
white man-
bro.
now you see how the white man is the devil even more. You know there's paperwork that said the Egyptians,
Okay.
but you gotta listen.
Let me just counter that, what you just said, because I know she's gonna move on around.
I'm not finished.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. If you're not gonna let me finish, you can't count it. There's paperwork that the Egyptians were white people. There's actual paperwork in the 17 and 1800s that the Egyptians were white people. And then you know what happened when we actually went to Egypt? We found out that the white man was the devil then too and lied because they were not white people. So making it seem like it has to be written down over oral tradition does not make one more truer than the other. And oral tradition can be a lie, the paperwork can be a lie. But you cannot prove that we being the children of Israel is a lie in the Bible. Can you
Yeah,
do
it's
that?
just factually incorrect. No scholars agree with you. This originated in the 1800s. But let me respond to what you just said, because you've been calling. I know she's. Let me just respond.
Yeah, go
One
ahead.
last question. One last question, please.
No, can't do that. I'm asking you the question.
Sure.
Prove that we are not, can you prove that we're not the children of Israel in the Bible?
I can prove that your claims are completely stupid. I can prove that, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Prove it in
So,
the
so you say, let me ask my counter question so I can show you.
No, I said, prove it in the Bible. I said, can you prove it in the Bible that we are not?
No, I'll grant you that. I'm gonna ask you another question.
Wait, before
So,
you ask that question,
white people,
5 seconds, just 5 seconds.
I gave it to you.
If you gave it to me, then you just
Granted.
proved that oral tradition matters. Thank you.
No, okay, so here's my question. All night, white people are the devil. White people are the devil, right? Are you familiar at all with the West Africa Squadron of 1808?
No.
Okay, so what that was a squadron from England that was sent to stop the slave ships after it was already abolished by those white devils, who, by the way, held slavery for the shortest amount of time in history, the shortest amount. It was a squadron that white people sent to stop Africans from selling to the Arab slave trade after we had already abolished it. So why are you so mad at us for being the first ones to end it? You're not mad at the Arabs for continuing to do it well into the 1900s and being systematic about it and keeping detailed records. You're not mad at the Africans who continued to grab and sell their own people, just mad at us for stopping it. We're the devils. And why aren't you mad? They still
How'd
do
you
it
stop
today
it and you had
in
it here?
Sudan. They still practice
So you stopped it and
basically
then had
chattel
it here.
slavery today.
That makes sense.
You're not upset about that. You're just mad at us.
Okay, you wasn't listening to the conversation.
Did you answer my question?
Yo, every
I-
time I get
Why are
the
you
fucking
mad at
ball, I'm
those
getting
things?
doubled and shit. These
You gotta
niggas is
rest in your
shooting.
femininity, young man. I'm
With
answering
no-
you.
with no
Answer the
fucking-
question.
Why you
with
gotta
no
stop
resistance.
talking? You see how I was quiet while you was talking?
Shit.
She's talking about ad homs.
Because
Answer the
you
question.
keep interrupting me. If you would have listened to the interview, I said I hate white people in this order. I said white people, Arabs, Africans, Chinese.
Yo,
I hate
step
the
up,
Arabs too.
man.
I hate Africans too. I don't give a fuck about no Africans. So you clearly could not have been listening, otherwise you wouldn't have wasted your breath.
So who don't you hate?
African. I don't hate my people. I don't hate Mexicans. I don't hate Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, blacks, Haitians, Jamaicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, they
You're not from Africa? You hate the
I
Africans?
don't hate
You're
a
not
lot
making any
of
sense, dude.
that you hate.
Okay.
You know what I like about Duck? Hey, wait, if I could highlight real quick. You know what I like about Duck? At least he's doing all his talking while he's on mute. I like that. I like that.
What's up, bitch? Are
Yeah,
you ready for
yeah.
You
it?
don't even know what that West African squadron is. You don't even know what it is. You're the expert. You don't even know what it
Look at
is.
all chipping out. Look at all y'all chipping out.
You don't even know what it is.
Right now, y'all all
This guy doesn't even know what it is.
Chip out.
It's African history. He doesn't know it.
And you're fucking ugly.
I'm not.
Ain't no fucking ugly.
I will, hold on, let me establish some order. Duck, you know better. The reason why everyone's muted is because I asked them to, because this is
Start
only
talking
between
shit
Andrew
instead of
and
just
Kathy.
talking. He's talking about scripture and they're talking about everything
I
else.
was just mad at the props I was giving him. I was saying that's good that you're not unmuting and talking. He got mad, chipped out.
Right.
But to Andrew, when you say, I don't know about the African, I'm not Africans. I hate Africans.
So why are you talking about the slave trade all the time, bro?
You said, why do I talk about it? Because
African slave trade, you know, it's in the title.
the African slave trade is not in this title.
Shut up,
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called the African slave trade.
White people are the devil is the title.
Oh, okay. Just go back to that. That's like your default.
That's the, you said the
I
title
know
is
that you're deep
African
in-
trade slaves and the
Okay.
title is
Bringing up
white people are the devil.
Africans is not in the title.
This
This is
is
the
so
first
low
time,
level.
listen,
That's why we
you
say
other
they're
white
the
people,
devils.
y'all should be ashamed of Andrew. Because Andrew is up here doing a horrible job. He agreed with me that the blacks are the Israelites, so he got rid of the oral tradition, and then he said Africans was in the title. This nigga can't even read. You can't even read, Mr. White Man.
How'd you get that? How'd you get that?
Because you just
said Africans are in the title.
The
Of
African slave trade?
the slave trade,
That
African
you
slave
keep
trade.
referencing and then saying you don't care about Africa? I guess you don't care about consistency either in your worldview.
What consistency don't I care about?
Well, you say that you don't care about Africans, but your whole premise is Africans.
What premise of mine is about Africans?
African slave trade, evil whitey. We've been hearing it all night.
I never
Slaves.
said, so I never said the word Igbo. I never said the word African in a
You're
good.
not gonna trip me up on one word.
Wait,
What
I
is-
never said-
choose your adjective.
But
You've
listen,
been saying it all night. White people are the devil.
that's
why?
correct, but I
Wait,
didn't
so
say
that's you?
Igbo.
Why?
I don't.
So
Why is it that everywhere in the world people want to live near white people?
Rest of your femininity.
everywhere in the world
We
wants to live
teach
white.
that
No, white people want to
white
live where
man
everyone else
came into
lives.
the continent of Africa. The Africans made the deal and sold one tribe to them. That tribe was the children of Israel. So I would hate Africans until we get
Like,
into
what
it,
we
just like I
talking
hate
about?
so-called white man. But in America, the Africans
Go
are
vacation
not
everywhere that
oppressing
y'all
us in
are.
America. White people are oppressing us in America. Have you ever heard of
You'll go to Italy and then Italy let in fucking Indians.
That's some oppression.
So y'all don't even want to live with each
Really
other.
oppressing you.
And y'all don't
We
even
made the
meet.
most black billionaires, but we're oppressing you.
of the Southern Poverty Law Center? Have you ever heard of that?
Interesting.
Have you ever heard of that?
So what does the rest of the world do? If we create the richest black people, what does the
We
rest of the
create the
world
richest
do?
black
Ever
people.
heard of that? The
Can you answer
Southern-
my question?
Well, ask my
No,
question.
because you have to compare to other things. White people are not evil if you compare it to the Arab slave trade. We're not oppressing you if you compare it to the rest of the world. We're just your oppressor. Your oppressor. You have to blame everything on us because you don't want to take responsibility, dude. It's obvious.
Take responsibility
It's
of
obvious
what?
what you're spewing.
Here's what you're doing. You're comparing evil to evil and saying, yes, we were evil, but we were not as evil as this people. Take it off of black people. Any person
Wait, so do I
that
have
or a group of people that is wrong, it's always should be about them. It shouldn't be about the people that wronged them. So when you say,
Where's the word slave come from?
like, I try to have decent conversations and then, because I can be like you and be interruptive and be
Where does the word slave come from?
But if you're gonna ask a question, you gotta let me respond to that first before you jump to something else. That's what intelligent men do. That's why I call you a woman.
I'm waiting.
You like Andrea, you're not Andrew. We're gonna call you Andrea the rest of the
Where,
day.
the word slave comes from the word Slav. What color are the Slavic people?
You can't compare evil to evil.
What the fuck type of question is that?
Evil. The victims of said
Slav
evil
comes
are
from
gonna hate
fucking.
both
That comes
parties.
from fucking.
So when you bring up what the Arabs
Is that
did,
the
they're
Iron-
gonna get
I won't
the
say
same hatred
Iron.
that the so-called white man did.
I hear you talking about them all night. White people, white people.
What?
What about it? What's the problem?
I didn't hear you say a word about the Arabs. You're not talking about Sudan, where they're still enslaving people today.
I'm not
Today, but you don't actually care. You don't actually care. It's just your victim narrative.
What don't I
They
care about
get
exactly?
married.
Enslaved black people.
What enslaved black people don't I care about?
Slang, right?
The ones that are currently enslaved today in places like Sudan.
If you can show me, so if those people are not my people, you're right. I don't care. And it's not from a not care, like it's not an atrocity that
I
shit
think it's
is
a Europe
correct.
thing.
But every race would prioritize their own people first. You know what you're doing? You want me to care about everybody on the planet. But when something happens,
We
to
can-
We can get back into it later, dude.
when something happens,
Oh,
to
I think he lagged out.
you said me?
Yeah, you lagged out for a second. It's okay now. We didn't hear you for a second there. You're good now.
What white people want and what they want to convince black people is that we got to care about everybody's problem. Black people have cared about everybody's problem enough. So in the Israelite school of UPK, we care about our problems. So don't ask me about Sudan. I can't tell you about Sudan. But I can tell you about the ghettos and the cities in my area, the barrios, the reservations that my people are on, and that's my priority. You understand
How
that?
convenient. How convenient at this point. You haven't talked about that all night.
Shoot the fucking ball, bitch!
Not a word, but when I point out how dumb your
Oh my
position,
fucking
now that's
goodness.
your point. Now it is.
Niggas are fucking ass. I get this nigga the ball wide open. He runs in the circle, dribbles, and then runs to the paint, throws it to the paint to get
I
offensive.
see a very nice speed date later in the gauntlet, and this might get.
Fucking retarded.
Looks like we are people like having phone issues. If you were backstage, next person to cam up gets the next seat, gets to come up. I don't know if we're losing people out of Wi-Fi issues or what, but go ahead, Doc. Ask your questions.
Fuck!
Can't hear
You
you.
are muted,
You
Doc.
gotta unmute your mic, Doc.
Hold on, give me a second. Okay, sorry. So
Let's shoot dunks and mid-range.
yeah, thanks for the debate and the discussion. I'm just curious because from like a critical perspective, I mean, you said things for sure. You definitely said things. But it's weird because usually critical philosophies, opinions, perspectives, ideas, they usually, in the end undermine themselves. They point to the fact that artificial differences between people don't support these robust versions of identity.
That to
And
me,
yet
that's
it
playing bad.
appears-
To other people, I'd be good.
because
To
you
other
play
people.
every day.
Be like, I was
Tell
just-
people that's good.
Including racial realism, right?
Well, yeah,
And
that
so,
you can play every day.
and so just like, your misusage of the Bible, your misusage
Listen,
of
hopefully this should be
history,
contested.
that was really pronounced to me while you were talking.
Can you tell me?
That's what I did this time. I know them this time.
Yeah, so I mean, just the actual history of the Bible is very different, right? The actual history of the religion is in,
But just so you can understand.
Yo, what the fuck?
Can you just be specific?
I didn't even shoot the
about what
ball,
you're
man.
saying?
I can't stand this shit.
So apparently
I catch the
you're
ball, I
trying
do a
to
dribble
hear-
move,
Have you seen Stand
and my
by the
niggas
way?
swinging off and shit, doing all this dumbass movement, and then I shoot the ball. Bro. This shit is
That's an
crazy.
old movie, right?
Shit is crazy as fuck.
Yeah,
I ain't trying
I
to
mean,
shoot the
it
fucking
depends what you
thing.
mean by old. But anyways, yeah. So religion.
Contested, he's nowhere near me!
Bargaining chip in empires.
Alright,
It's
fuck that
also been a
shit, bro. He's
patriarchal
nowhere near me!
mechanism,
He's
so
gonna
it
contest.
really violates some of the values. And so saying that there's, just
I just missed fucking
Jeremiah.
two
I
shots.
understand why you would want to talk about Jeremiah repeatedly, but to me,
And
it's
they push
it's
me
like,
out of
yeah,
bounds
this
after I
isn't-
catch the
this
ball
isn't
under
a
the
critical
rim.
perspective. This is just cheap racism on the internet.
All this dumbass shit, bro. This supposed to be like this
When I
shit is
mentioned
ass.
Jeremiah, it wasn't about racism. When I mentioned
Just taking my
Jeremiah,
teammate
it was
real
about
quick.
idolatry. The Christmas tree is what I mentioned about Jeremiah. And I was pointing out that the Christmas tree is described in Jeremiah the 10th chapter. Listening is an art, young man. So that when I ask you to be specific, you still are not specific. So when you say I'm saying
But
things,
then how does
I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you.
Right.
Doc,
I
and he's
understand.
correct, Doc. Let him finish his thought, please.
And I'm gonna give you the floor very quickly, so I'm gonna ask you again. When you say I was hypocritical, be specific on subject and tell me you brought up Jeremiah. What was I hypocritical about in Jeremiah? Because it wasn't about racism.
Yeah. So, I mean, this whole point that you could somehow look at a totem or an artifact and not see the irony that you're referencing a totem or an artifact, an impressa. You're referencing something that is an artifact meant to mean something to some person. To create a point about the white man,
So what does the tree
creating
represent?
Santa Claus and the 12, the 12 Easter egg, dwarves to deliver presents. Okay, I get it. It's very funny, Teriak. However, Captain Teriak, right? It's very funny.
You just call me Captain.
Right.
Tazari,
Yeah.
nigga, you missing the
Okay, so, but again, yeah, that it's just kind of a weird. I don't know if you don't see the irony of housing a criticism of idolatry within something which itself is idolizing a text, and then this again zooms back out to the fact that you're just giving an example of what race realism looks like.
So again, this is what I see. Like people talking, they ain't saying shit.
75
He
3
said I
balls,
was
6 for 8.
hypocritical. I actually show me where I was hypocritical because Jeremiah the 10th chapter was about idolatry. So when I take the time to read when I said that Jeremiah described the Christmas tree. So when I read Jeremiah 10, it says, learn not the way of the heathen. So now we know this is the custom of the heathen, verse 3. But the custom of the people of vain, one cut up the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen. Where did you get the tree from? The forest today. They deck it with silver and gold. Now we ain't the most, extravagant people, so we don't have silver and
Do
gold.
you not understand that reading into the text? Reading? No, I wasn't done.
Like, get out your fucking feelings.
Doug, he was talking.
Yeah, I
He
was
was
quiet.
talking, Doug.
What the fuck was that? Cap?
What the fuck was
All
that?
right.
Interrupted.
We're gonna go ahead and move on because Doug just wants to play games. All right,
Shut your mouth.
Spin, do you have a question or comment for Captain Cesariak?
I just want to tell you,
Black, what's a good food?
Sarah, this shit is fire. I just want to tell you that.
I know. That's always fun. But Doug knows my rules here as well.
So what's a good food?
He can save all of that fuck you bitch stuff for the gauntlet. Angry American, Spin, it is your turn. So do you have a question or comment for Captain Cesariak?
Oh, I definitely do.
Who's this one talking?
This is Angry American, bottom corner.
Okay, I see him. Okay, I see him. I got you. Good, angry American.
Would you agree that your views are racist?
I wouldn't agree that they was racist, but if someone said bigoted or prejudiced, I would agree. The way that I look at racism, when we say like the white man is racist, and we would normally say systematic racism, so we don't have a system in place to oppress you guys. So if someone said I was prejudiced or bigoted, I don't think I'm bigoted, but I would say I'm prejudiced.
You ever fucked a white girl?
No,
Oh my
You ever
god.
have a white girlfriend?
no. I know that's what you wanted because a lot of black men do.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted.
What I will say, I could
I'm
respond.
here to call you what you are.
No problem, but before you call me what I am, what I would say is that your white women love black dick though.
And that's why they want slavery back. That's why they didn't want slavery, because they were fucking the black men. They had the fucking mulatto kids.
They said slavery and they could, because that white penis is just too fucking small. It's so small that they go get that black dick and they say, Mandingo, dominate me, smack me, do this to me. That's what I do know.
See, what I do know is I have watched most of your Instagram and your fucking TikTok brain,
Right?
and all I see is racist, bigoted bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we see it every day, all day, for years.
Do you know, I did my fucking homework.
Good job. Not good enough. We'll see though. We'll see.
Do you know your extremist, black extremist group is considered a terrorist organization in the United States?
Where at?
Yes, it is.
Where at?
I'll put it in the back.
No. You can just name it. I'm not here to disagree with you.
I just fucking said it.
Okay, but see, that's the problem. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, it's not a problem. You're the problem.
Relax for a second.
Why are you so mad?
You are the problem. You are a black
Listen, man, let's
supremacist.
tell y'all.
A black supremacist.
That's what you
I'm built for this. I'm built for this. So you think about
He doesn't.
For this one,
That's the funny part, because he don't even fuck with all black folks, so can't even call him a black supremacist or Israelite supremacist, maybe. But see how they getting mad and shit? We pointing out facts and shit, and they want to get mad. Shit crazy as fuck.
Okay, angry American. You think about
you're not built for this one tonight, sir.
Let's just have a
I
conversation,
promise.
but real fast. I'm
No,
not.
I'm giving you
Oh,
real
hold
facts.
on, hold on. Let's move
How
to
is
this
it
is
so
like,
bad?
yeah, go ahead, Captain.
I'm not trying to disagree with you with the statement of us being labeled as a black extremist.
Then say yes, we are.
Just let me.
That's the answer.
Let him
I
finish.
want everybody to pay attention. My black superiority is evident so far because these three white women are stupid, emotional, and effeminate. I want to have the conversation with y'all, but y'all can't control yourself.
No,
Now,
because we don't
listen
listen to stupid shit.
Just listen. The black extremist group, which we
Which you wrong.
which is what we're labeled as. Southern Poverty Law Center. Anybody goes to the Southern Poverty
Southern Poverty Law Center.
Hold on, spin. Pardon me for just a moment. Spin. He has stated at least 3 words, and then you interrupt him, and then 3 more words, and then you interrupt him. Can you at least let him finish his thought before you respond? Thank you.
So the Southern Poverty Law Center, and the title says "A white people the devil." I'm gonna show you how devilish the white man is. The Southern Poverty Law Center has the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge on their list as a black extremist group. Southern Poverty Law Center was founded in the 70s to fight against racial discrimination. And that same Southern Poverty Law Center that was designed to fight against racial discrimination
Was
was
filmed.
just indicted by the FBI for funding and giving white supremacists millions of dollars. So when you say that the Southern Poverty Law Center has us as a black extremist group, but that same group that you got is funding a white supremacist group, that proves the white man is the devil. Because in one breath, they have an organization saying they're against racial discrimination, but that same organization is paying millions of dollars to the same white extremist groups that's labeled on the Southern Poverty Law Center. Now, tell me I'm lying.
You're full of shit.
So if we
Whoa, that's not what we're doing here. We're only one person at a time. Please stay quiet.
Let me tell you something. You said, and I quote, that white people
Hold the fuck up, sorry. I'm
Damn,
sorry.
why does he keep fucking talking? Shut
You
up.
clearly said everybody's gonna stay muted. I'm gonna kick you back to the back, bring up the next guy because you couldn't follow the fucking rules. Thank you, sorry. Go ahead.
Niggas annoying as shit.
Hey, Sarah, before you go, Angry American, I'm gonna put in the private chat. I'm putting a link in that chat. If we need to play it, this video, it shows the Southern Poverty Law Center was indicted on federal fraud charges for giving over $3 million to white supremacist groups. So the same group that's trying to tell, the same organization that's trying to tell us we're racist are funding racists. You have the floor, Angry American. Is that true? Yes or no?
First of all, you don't give me the floor.
I
The
did.
host does.
I did.
Number one.
I did.
Number one.
I did.
That's how it works.
I did. A black man gave you the floor. You're gonna accept it today.
Hey, guess what?
Speak while
Guess
you
what?
speak.
Guess what?
Speak. You can speak because I am speak.
This motherfucker doesn't know who I am. Here's my point. You want to take away
Speak,
the
dog.
dreams of the child. You call white people a PDF file, and you know what? We don't use the whole word here. You said it more than 9 times.
Yeah. I mean, what's this.
So get yourself right.
Huh? Get your white pedophiles right.
Very quickly.
Get the Southern Poverty Law Center right. Get them right.
I get it. It's a terrorist organization in the United States. And I can't wait until you're arrested.
The Southern Poverty Law Center funds white
Go
supremacy.
ahead and fund it. Come back to my question. Why do you think white people are pedophiles? Answer the question.
What's the question?
Why do you think that most white men are pedophiles? And second of all,
Okay, can I answer
oh no, you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait.
Let me answer that question first.
You're going to wait.
Why are you asking a question and not
This is how this night's gonna go.
Let's do one point at a time, and then answer this question, and then I want you to ask, then I want you to actually answer, then I want you to ask your last question, and then that'll be it, and then we'll move on to
I'm
the next, okay?
gonna give you a comedic answer to why I say white men are pedophiles.
I don't do comedy.
I just said a couple of words.
I don't do comedy. An honest question.
Right, Forrest Gump.
There's a movie came out in the 90s. It's
I
called.
don't give a fuck about a movie.
Oh, Finn. If you keep interrupting, I'll just move on. Let him answer.
Man. There's a movie came out in the 90s called True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bill Pullman. There's a scene in the movie where Bill Pullman is Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife, Jamie Lee Curtis, is cheating on Arnold Schwarzenegger with Bill Pullman. Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to the car. They're riding in the car. As they're riding in the car, Bill Pullman begins to describe Jamie Lee Curtis. He begins to say she got some titties you'll die for, and then she says, ass like a 12-year-old boy.
Hey, yo.
Oh,
Man said that
you're talking about a movie now?
Finish.
I mean, that's a fucking famous movie that y'all like.
That a woman had an ass like a 12-year-old boy. So when that white man looked at Jamie Lee Curtis's ass, he saw a boy. That is white men. That's what I said.
So that's your proofism
Yes.
of movie.
Yeah.
I think, sir, you're living a movie. And here's why. You are, all you are is a racist person. That's all you are. You sip your Patron or whatever the hell you're drinking.
This actually is scotch.
Oh, go drink some scotch.
This is aged. This is good scotch. This is aged scotch. This is wrong.
Patron is crazy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. All the town does is racially profile white people. So, guess what?
No, he be talking about black folks. Just as much.
You take the dreams away from children because, oh my God, the original depiction of Santa Claus is a white man. Well,
Santa Claus, Satan.
You
You don't want a black man in your house.
Angry Americans, speaking of St. Nicholas, do you know that the original St. Nicholas was black? That's sizzling in your spirit. Y'all stole that.
we steal
And it was green.
everything, right? But I
Green
promise
didn't change it to
you,
red for
I have more white privilege in this country than you ever have. I'm done, sir. I'm done, sir.
Alright, thank you so much.
That nigga just
LJ, sir, to you, your question or comment.
I will not go in.
Yeah, you guys agree, okay?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly fine, thank you.
Okay, next.
Did he freeze?
No, I can hear him.
I can't hear him.
Can Cap hear me?
I can hear you now.
I said something wrong,
Hey, slow brother, what's going on?
Alright, so a couple of things. Cap is not Bill Pullman, it's Bill Paxton. He died actually a couple years ago. Yeah, and then another thing too about the slave trade. It's not the African slave trade; it's the transatlantic slave trade. And the one that was led by the Arabs was the trans-Saharan slave trade, which said, yeah, and the other gentleman who was actually correct. The Arabs, they are still doing it.
I just passed the fucking ball to this nigga.
Not lessening the fault.
Yo,
the Arabs are still doing it.
I can't make this shit up. He's sitting in the fucking restricted zone, and I get a charge.
You love the Arabs?
Make it make sense.
Yeah, no, the Arabs are. Well, hold on, let me finish. That's you didn't like being interrupted earlier, right?
What the fuck is this?
I love the Arabs.
I pass the ball way before. Spamming fucking the nigga sitting in the baby.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I think that was his point. I don't think that was his point. I think he was reflecting off of what Andrew was saying earlier regarding the slave trade and kind of elaborating clarifications on that.
Yeah, I was clarifying what it was. Like, Arabs, see, Cap and I disagree. He doesn't recognize right now, but we disagree on certain points. You know, like, for instance, I agree that the Arabs are just as bad, if not as worse than the white folks. Because the Arabs are still enslaving people to this day, to the other guy's point. And it's true. And I personally believe that the Arabs, specifically the Arabs, the Saudi Arabian Arabs, are actually from Esau, which is Edom, not all white people. See, Pat believes that all white people are Edom. I don't. I believe the Jewish people and the Arabs are Edom because they're Shemitic. White people are not Shemitic, but Arabs are Shemitic and Jewish people are Shemitic. If anyone knows the story of Jacob and Esau, they know that Jacob and Esau were brothers. So Cap and his belief is that all white people are our brothers, essentially by calling them Edomites. I disagree with that. Now that's one point. The other point is this. When we talk about is the white man the devil, I take a different position. I'm coming from a scientific perspective. We all know scientifically, anyone on here can verify this. Google's at everyone's fingertips. White people have greater than 3% Neanderthal DNA. Black people inherently have less than 1% Neanderthal DNA. Asians have 3% Denisovan DNA. A Denisovan is just a different strain of Neanderthal. But black people inherently do not possess that DNA. So why am I bringing this up? If you go back to Genesis, and we look at when Adam and Eve in the apple, and the Most High said to the serpent, he gave a prophecy about the head and the heel. The seed of the woman is going to crush the head of the serpent's seed. So now Genesis tells us there's two different seeds, two different lineages in the world, and there's going to be enmity, which is hatred between those two seeds. My belief is that the Nephilim, which is the serpent seed, are the progenitors of the white race, therefore making them the seed of the devil. Serpent seed, which is called Nakash in Hebrew.
I gotta stop helping, dude.
Are we gonna get to or something like that?
That's what I was waiting for, actually.
I'm not asking you shit. Are we gonna get to a question? It's like you came up here to preach your position. I don't know if you can read the room, but is there an actual question here?
Well, actually, it was about my perspective on why they're the devil. Do you disagree that they're the devil in that respect? Or are you saying that philosophically, metaphorically?
Who's the devil?
The white man. We're talking about the white. Did you hear anything I said?
This whole subject is white people are the devil. Why would I disagree with the white man being the devil? Like, what?
No, I'm talking about from the scientific perspective.
That comes up here shows why we say white man is the devil. He come up here to do what? Like, you did this to do what?
I answered. You know what I'm asking? I'm asking from the perspective of a scientific perspective. Do you agree from a scientific perspective? You're interrupting me. You asked me a question, and I'm trying to answer, and now you're interrupting.
Well, I think what LJ, I think what Captain is looking for is pushback, and it doesn't sound like necessarily.
No, Sarah. I'm not looking for pushback. I'm looking for an actual question.
Well, I just asked it, you ignored it. I asked it, you ignored it.
If your question is,
So can I repeat the question?
He answered it.
Can I repeat the question?
The topic is white people are the devil.
From the perspective that I just gave, the scientific perspective, do you agree or disagree on how that they are the white man that way, philosophically, metaphorically, scientifically?
no. But I do believe that the white man is the devil. And so here's what I would say to a black man. I don't care how you got there. You believe like I believe. Whatever it took to get you there, because what you said first was you talked about how they enslaved us. So they're not the devil because of what they are genetically, metaphorically, philosophically. They're not the devil because of their reason. They're the devil because of what they do with their actions. That's what anybody is the devil. A black person could be a devil by their actions. So when we say the white man is the devil, it's by his actions. Not in genetic, metaphysical, physical. That's why I didn't understand what you're saying. You came up here to ask me a question of the topic that helps me, kind of. You just saying, what you got up here to say is, I disagree with Cap. I still believe the white man is the devil, but here's why I think the white man is the devil as opposed to him. That's really all you did.
Yeah, I'm telling you where I'm coming from a scientific perspective. And either you disagree with it or you don't. That's fine.
I said I don't agree with it.
I also agree that their actions dictate from the lineage of evil. That's fine. But I'm also saying from a literal scientific perspective that they are too. Genetics, that's my point.
You're running the ball down the court, man. Come on, pass the ball.
No, that was it. That's what I came up for.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, LJ.
You're welcome.
Clay to you, sir. I'm hoping you'll tap into the religious
Pass the
side of
fucking
it.
ball, man.
To see where you go with it. Go ahead, Clay.
You're passing niggas to sit
Thank
you.
you, Sarah, for hosting Third Down. Thank you guys for coming up and having
Retarded.
interesting points of view.
Keep passing the nigga the ball. He's not playing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start out with this. Short of somebody identifying with a specific race, black or white, specifically black or white,
Right.
would you be able to point out whether someone is black or white?
You mean like when I look at him?
Sure, you look at them.
So we don't go by like looking at somebody. We would so like for example, I usually say this very easily. Like Bob Marley looks black to most people, but he's a white man to us because his daddy's white. So we don't look at what a person looks like on the outside and say that's
Oh my fucking gosh, yo, what the fuck is going on? My nigga doing stupid shit.
Tribes of Israel come from 12 sons. And so,
Yo, my guy out here doing the fucking shit. Yo, I swear, every time I bring out something, he's doing the fucking shit. I'm doing a meter go. This nigga just slows up runs like does a fucking
world would call a white man, but you
does a fucking dumbass floater.
Like, call a black man, but you could be white. Like Lenny Kravitz is another, that's a white man, that's not a black
I
man.
don't get it.
So that's how we
don't
do
understand
it. So
this
you,
shit.
let's say if you walked up to
I gotta play my controller.
you specifically play, right? From the outside, the world would say you was a white man. Let's say if you walked up to the camp and you wanted to come to our class, we would start inquiring about your background. We wouldn't deny you off the rip. We would say, okay, what's your father, what's your grandfather? We would, check your lineage out, and if you actually are Israelite, regardless of what you look like today, that wouldn't matter. Like Drake is black to us, even though he caters more to the Jewish side. If you look at his son, I think his son looks more like what the world would call a white person. So we don't go by the look of shit, so to speak, to determine if you're an Israelite or not.
Very good, very good. So it has absolutely nothing to do with the person's melanin.
Oh my fucking goodness.
Very good. So then we will get into the belief portion of it, which is that what specifically do you identify with? Are you identifying with Christianity, Hebrew? Do you believe that Christ is king?
We believe that Christ is king, and we believe that it's the children of Israel. So you might, the term Hebrew is cool, but we would say Israelites. So we believe that Christ is the king of, he's the king of everybody, but he came to redeem the children of Israel. So for us, we have to be an Israelite, so I wouldn't call myself a Christian.
Very good, very good. Also,
Like,
the original nation of Israel.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say ethnically, that's a good way to put it. You put it perfectly.
I love that. Then you would also identify, I would imagine, with the Abrahamic covenant. You would take it all the way back to Melchizedek, Noah, Adamic.
Not with Noah, but with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I would take it.
just Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Bro, niggas just keep throwing it to the same fuck ass nigga, man.
Of the flood, and the Lord made a covenant with
Yo,
him.
y'all good, man? Why y'all keep throwing the ball to the fucking AI and saying why don't you? Then you throwing it to the niggas not playing.
Ishmael got a blessing, but not the covenant. So when the Bible says, I will leave my covenant with Isaac, so from covenant into position, I would say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what I found right there.
Okay. So do you believe that the flood is a thing? Do you believe that
Yes.
Noah stepped off the ark with his sons
Yes.
after the earth was flooded and everything was destroyed?
Yes, I believe that.
Okay. Do you believe in the 6,000-year model?
When you say, so, you know what's always been strange, the 6,000, so a day unto the Lord is as 1,000 years. So I look at the 6 days of creation as a span.
Got another fucking turnover for catching the ball, bro. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Until now, I think that's like another 6,000. So
All this fuck shit.
Not older than
Shit
like
is old.
2,000 years. It could be younger than that, but the earth is very young.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's a younger model. Regardless of whether it's 6,000, 10,000, 20,000.
Right.
It's a younger model. for
Correct.
sure. And then, okay, so that's great. We're on the same page with that. With Noah specifically, if you believe in the thing that happened with Noah in the
Throwing it to a
flood.
nigga that's not open. I'm sitting here wide open, bro.
Noah
Like, wide
is the
open.
father of
Yeah, take it up on 3
everyone
people.
today, or the great.
I would say Adam is the father. I would say Adam is the father only because we can read that. Like it says, of Adam, of him come we all. Now, of course, it's through Noah. Now, when you start breaking down how we come from Adam, then of course you got Noah and his three sons. I would say we all come from Adam because that's what the Bible says.
Very good, very good.
Can't make this
So, but
shit
everything
up.
was destroyed except for Noah, his 3 sons, and
Correct.
3 wives, and his wife.
Yes.
It was 8 people left.
Yes.
And so, if
And you know what's interesting about the 8 people? You know there's only 8 blood types as well?
that's interesting.
Yeah, I learned
Yeah,
that.
I never considered that one.
I would use that against atheists. I just found it maybe like a month ago. I ran across, like, you know, my Instagram show like some things you didn't know. So I saw that there's only 8 blood types on the earth, and there are only 8 people survived the flood. I thought that was interesting. But you can continue.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I imagine we're probably on the
Pass
same
the pill.
historical timeline as far as Noah. But if that is the case, then we all came from Noah. That would make us all related, regardless of whether we're this melanin, that melanin, all that.
Alright, so
The
why
human beings that exist today, that would mean that all human beings on the planet today are in fact related. That means, to me, that would mean that they can't possibly. I hear what you're saying when Jesus said, "You come from your father, the devil." That part. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily mean that a specific race is
Them niggas are not
But I agree.
a specific group of people.
But you know, when he made that statement, he was talking to Israelites. When he said, you are of your father, the devil. That's why when I started this conversation, right, he was talking to the Pharisees. And he said, you're of your father, the devil, and their father was the Romans that they worked for. So I have never said that black people can be devils or no other people can be devils. I'm talking about, if you talk about the creme de la creme of the top, they're the devil. Right. And so even when you talk about us coming from Adam in Genesis 10:32, the Lord divided the nations. So it's not even me that's saying we're separated. The Lord divided the nations. And so he took Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and then the Ham became the Hamites. The Japhites became the Japhites. The Shemites became the Shemites. And then out of Shem, Abraham leaves his father's house. And then he established, well, he first begats Ishmael. Ishmael then begats the Ishmaelites. Then he begats Isaac, who begats Israel, who become the Israelites. Even the Edomites come from out of there. So nations began to be reestablished. And then his covenant was with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So
all these niggas want to do is run and slash, bro. This shit's annoying.
you had to be joined to all races of people, I would be joined to all races of people. But the Bible don't say that I'm to be joined to all races of people. That's where I separate that.
So I have another. So let's fast forward to Paul.
Okay.
I know that there's a Paul coming up here on this, a Paul debate coming up here on this channel.
What's the debate on Paul?
That is vocab Malone from the Street Apologist and Sean Omar.
I wish I like listen, man. I wish listen. I don't really debate vocab because vocab tried to put a strike on my account, but I do know the debates. Jesus is God, Paul. I do all of the debates.
Very good.
Okay,
I'm sure it'll be fun. When it happens, just look out for it coming on the man later. It'll be fun.
Yeah, Sarah send it to me.
Yeah, so we'll touch that a little bit here right now, though, because I've got a question about that. How do you feel about Paul? Do you think, because he was a Pharisee, do you think he's redeemable?
Who, Paul?
Niggas
Yes.
so butt on this bitch.
Yeah, I think Paul, like Paul had that guilt trip. I think Paul struggled with that because, of course, he held Stephen's coat, but he was an Israelite too.
Yes.
So yes, and with that proof, in John 3:16, when it says whosoever, the whosoever is talking about
Wide
no
open.
matter what you've done. So you could have been an adulterer, a thief, an unalive, or whatever it might be. You can redeem yourself. Paul was an example.
I'm crying.
And so Paul was used to redeem us. And so when you look at it, and what's interesting, when Christ came to him, and Ananias, most people, they don't realize that Christ came to Ananias as well when you read it. And so when Ananias was met by Christ, when they go to Paul, they didn't want to talk to Paul at first. They was afraid of Paul. But then Paul eventually won them over. You can read 2 Peter 3 when Peter says, our beloved brother Paul. So Paul was definitely redeemable, for sure.
Very good. So yeah, I mean that's going to be pretty much where I'm going to end it. I just want to point out that I appreciate it. That just to kind of clear it up, it's nothing to do with melanin specifically, right? It just happens that when people are identifying, I appreciate this from you. When people are identifying with this class of evil,
Right.
that's what you're calling out. And black could be. I'm imagining could choose to be evil, right? Because we all have
Black people, black people are the devils too. I'm not up here to say black people don't do no evil shit. You see Diddy in jail right now. Black people do evil shit too.
Diddy in jail for people voluntarily fucking.
Let this be a lesson
That's
to
the
you as
crazy
white
part.
children.
Grown folks, not kids, grown folks.
Clay
That's the
spoke,
difference.
I spoke. Clay spoke, I spoke. We
Oh
spoke
my
like
fucking god, I
men.
can't do a fucking
Clay is the
thing.
first white man. You are a
This
white
shit
boy.
is retarded as fuck.
What are you?
Pass the
I'm
ball.
not white. I'm just a
Well,
man.
whatever Clay identifies as, he's better than you white boys that sit down when you pee. Good job, Clay. I hope
You gotta
you,
sit down with
Come on, man.
if you shitting, the only time a man should be sitting down, the only time a man should be sitting down when they pee is if they shitting. These two, a man and a buck, they all sit down when they pee.
Understand. Not everybody's able to stand.
Trying to run the ball with this shit.
That's a handicapped society. We're not talking about people that are handicapped.
All right, understand.
But you had a good conversation, Clay.
Very good. And I want to point one other thing out too about Paul, which I find interesting as well.
All these people playing, throwing the ball to a fucking AI.
It's probably not the first time it was ever really kind of attempted within.
Why the fuck open in the paint? And you call for it.
Framework, but with Philemon, that's
You're passing the ball right at the rim.
Christianity, where within
He's not open
slavery, it was
though.
pointed out that men should not own men as property.
I threw him the ball one time and he was open in the paint and he called for
You
it.
gotta be alive for that. You ain't supposed to steal no man either.
That's right. That's right. So understand that slavery
I ain't called
was
shit.
never, in my view, ever something to be upheld. Now
Now
it's
he's trying to take over that
tolerated
shit. You ain't got nothing
in
to fucking
many nations.
But you know, in the Bible, so when they try to say like slavery in the Bible, there's a difference between a servant and a slave. If you owe a debt or if you work, you can be a servant in the Bible. That's different than a
Not
slave.
touching the fucking
Even like
nail,
the
I'm
rules
touching
that
the
they
score.
have for bankruptcy and stuff like that, where you in debt.
I can only pass it to niggas and they don't score.
It comes from the Bible, because in the Bible, if you owe that debt for 7 years, after 7 years, you would be relieved of that debt.
How do I get a dime?
So,
I can pass an open nigga the ball all the time. If he doesn't score, I don't get a dime, right?
And thank you, Taz. Thank you, sir.
no sweat, I appreciate it. I ain't tagged, by the way, but I appreciate it. All right.
So what would you prefer?
Right.
Either this is cap or the latter end.
A bunch of passes out.
So,
Yeah.
you got no
Open niggas, they run up and slash the ball.
I like that. Very good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Pass out.
Clay identifies, here's what Clay identifies as a wonderful, amazing panelist here at Major Nation. That's
Yeah, he's the best so far. He's the only man spoke so far.
Yeah, he's a regular here, probably.
I didn't say I spoke the best. That's how I'm
Yeah, he's probably here every night. He always asks some amazing questions, and it's quite a it's a great representation of us here. Nigerian and Dandy, are you back in your seat?
I am
All right, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Oh,
It's Kiki.
hey, let's practice.
It's Kiki.
What's
It's Kiki. I want to ask what kind of captain are you?
what kind of captain am I? What do you mean by that?
You are a captain of the ship?
No,
Like a sailor?
no, I am a captain that's like in the Bible. You know, in the Bible, Moses and them established captains of 50 captains, 100 some captain like that.
It's funny because in the Bible, in Genesis 9, verse 9 and 10, it says, I pray and establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after.
That's
With
right.
an everlasting soul. So how can you be restless when you don't have an all-living soul, Noah?
Nigerian, before you go ahead, that captain, Nigerian, can you back off your mic a little bit? It's coming in
Close to
slow.
the mic, that fucked up accent.
Yeah.
That's just because those men that people look like powerful. You're not powerful. Getting close to the mic will make you powerful. The fucked up sound.
Let me tell you, Captain. But
All these niggas talking about I'm shooting face. Talking about their power.
Hey, Nigerian Dandy, why don't you put your face on this? Why can't I see you?
Oh, see, you just said it. Yeah, why don't you put your face
I
on
can't
it?
see you today. Yeah,
I bring it. You're not gonna play Captain, but look at this.
See, I told you, white man, the devil. I don't think he's white. I do not think he's white.
Oh my god. Bring my turnovers, come up with catch passes.
Man. The best, man.
There's a lot of people that are fucking fuming right now.
Yeah, listen, I hope the
Doc Black, sir, Doc. Fine, I got a question for you.
Okay, what's your question?
Alright, so, I really don't have to attend to the.
Yeah, your mic is,
No, I'm about confidence. Back up a little bit. Back that face up, man. The face just blew up on my face like that, man. See, I control like that. Yeah. Sorry. What's the question? You got a question?
Fucking goodness, man.
Ain't you like some made up shit? You got like some made up.
Get this nigga a bucket. Like, this shit's crazy.
But don't you got
hold on, Harlow, one at a time now.
don't you got like some made up race or something like that? You out here catfishing.
Shit, you must be crazy. You talking about Punch Two made up?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. I couldn't push two.
Majority of the the Pashtuns.
Pashtuns, that's right.
You haven't looked that up yet? It's made up.
No, I didn't look it up yet. The next time we have a conversation, we'll do another live show. I'll look it up so I can know exactly what it is. I apologize.
Anyway, I was trying to drop some hilarious clip, some funny shit, but I'll let you move on to the rest of these people.
All that holding the ball, you only got 6 fucking pounds.
You guys can talk your relationship together, and I'll join the panel later.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Thank you, Omar. Crowd, go ahead with your question, please, sir.
Thank you, sir. What's up, everybody? Alright, Scott, let's just clarify a couple things. I know you said black people can be the devil, right?
Yes. That's it.
But is your statement the white people are inherently evil, that they're inherently the devil.
The Bible says the wicked are estranged from the womb. Yeah, I don't think y'all have no.
Right. So just to clarify, you're saying inherently white people are the devil.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Would you accept, or do you think it's good to accept anything from the devil?
What do you mean? If you can expound on that.
I mean, if the devil offers you something, would you accept it? Or should you accept
If I get a job at a white company, that's just a job. You're not really, it's really your skill set that's allowing you to get that job. But let's say like,
we're talking about jobs.
That's what well, the first thing I did was I asked you to explain what you meant, but you left it vague. So I'm trying to give it.
I'll give you my answer real quick. If the devil were to offer you anything, I would say no. Now, would you say no, or would you say yeah?
Good.
That's why I was clarifying. So I was going to use the Bible. So when
Well, hold on. I don't want to get into the Bible verse with you right now because you read the Bible.
This is relax. Listen. Let me give you 2 points.
You can quote it. But can you answer my question?
I'm answering your question about quoting. I just need you to be quiet.
No. Listen, I see you with this no forgave. You don't need to quote the Bible for an answer.
I can quote the Bible for an answer because that's what I live by.
All right, but then I'm going to need an answer afterwards, so go ahead and quote the Bible.
If you shut your mouth, I told you I was going to quote the Bible and then answer. Listening is hard.
No, you said you were going to quote the Bible to answer, not and then answer. But go ahead.
Just let him answer it, crowd. Maybe we can move forward.
Fuck animals. You probably
You're right, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. You probably fuck animals. So now, Christ said, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto the Lord what is the Lord's. That's what he said. And then the devil took him up and offered him all the world if he would bow down to him and leave the Most High. So, rendering unto Caesar means we work in this captivity, so I look at white people as the devil, but now I'm a businessman. I don't have a regular 9 to 5. I own my business. But in owning my business, I have to work with different ethnicities. So I work with white people to purchase items. I work with Africans to purchase items. I work with Arabs to purchase items. That's not getting nothing from the devil. What's getting something from the devil is what that devil did to Christ. If you bow down and leave obeying God to follow me, now that's listening or getting something from the devil. So I would never do that. But business transactions with anybody, economic transactions with anybody is not getting something from the devil.
All right, so I'll say it another way so you'll be able to answer yes or no. If the devil offers you something, no type of service, no type of product, he just offers you something. Hey, take this. Would you take it?
No.
No? So should all the slaves back in the the 1800s, so they had said no to the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment because the white man offered that those 3 amendments to free the slaves? Should they have said no since the white man is the devil?
They didn't have the ability to say no. Because at the same time that the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment is being created, 3/5 of man was also created. Because that was the compromise. It's called the 3/5 compromise. The slaves had nothing to do with the Civil War. You know what the Civil War was about? The Civil War was about the southern states wanted to separate from the northern states, and because they had the slaves and could count them as a man, they would outnumber the northern states. That's what the war was about. So when the war was over, it's like, okay, what we do with the slaves? Because the dominant number of slaves was in the South. So then the 3/5 compromise was created. We had no say-so over the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment or 3/5 of a man. Because then you would have to say, if black people want to be 3/5 of a man, hell no, we wanted to be a full man. So that's not the question that I would ask because we don't have control. We can't accept or deny it. So that's not something we have the power to accept or deny.
Well,
the
white man did, they did free the slaves, and I don't see the devil doing that. But what about the civil rights?
That's the question. Did Abraham Lincoln say, if I can do this without freeing the slaves, I would? I got another question.
I heard people say that he said that, and I never got a chance to read about it to see if actually. For the sake of the argument, I'll say he did say that.
Okay, you should. Yeah, I would definitely look that up. And then
I'm not a liberal. When I'm wrong or I don't know something, I admit it. What brings me to my next point, you brought up, I always forget the acronym, that government that just got found guilty for providing resources and yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah.